The very first QnCOLB emergency pod has dropped under horrible circumstances. Deshaun Watson out for the year. Now, look, we have gone through, I feel like as a fan base, the horribleness of this and how this sucks and this is a tough blow and all that. We're going to get to that. Trust me, we're going to get to that. But I do think that there is a hilarious element to this. I told Cole how I found this out. I want to know, Cole, how did you find out this news? Where were you when you found out Deshaun Watson was going to be out for the year?
So, dog, first and foremost, it got dropped into my work Slack, right?
Oh.
And the first thing that happens when things get dropped into your work Slack like that are serious like that, the first thing I do is like, okay, let me make sure that's real. Right. So the first thing I did, I clicked on the link and it was the Browns official Twitter account.
Oh. Oh.
No,
you didn't even get that buffer period of like, maybe it's fake.
No, Q. You know what I did, bro? I clicked off, went back in Slack, and clicked it again just to make sure I wasn't tripping. The whole year, I was like, bro, there's no way. There's no way, bro.
Shoulder surgery. Right shoulder.
Bro, I was thinking there was something wrong with his ankle. When you wake up and feel like, hey, he got to get his whole shoulder fixed.
Now, they said that the good news is that they said it was a broken shoulder. I mean, that's not good news, but that's good news in the long term. Because if it were like a torn shoulder ligament, then you're talking about like Cam Newton, right? Like never being the same again after that. It seems like it was a bone break in the shoulder, not necessarily a muscle tear, but shoulders are weird. We've already went through this. And honestly, I don't know if this is related to the other shoulder injury because like everything I read does not make it seem like it's related to that other shoulder injury, which is just incredible. Like it's just incredible, like the bad luck there. But my story, and I want to hear y'all stories in the chat because look, man, this was a bomb. Like, and I understand that the bomb sucks right now. And it might suck for the rest of the year. We just look at this. But dog, the funny story when a sports bomb gets dropped on you like this. You ever hear people from Atlanta talk about when they found out Dominique got traded? Like those stories are always hilarious. So if you have a good one, please drop it in the comment section down below. But I was up late last night because I was working on a bunch of stuff. I had a morning video I wanted to get out with Cam that we did the other day. And then I have a 5-year anniversary video since November 15th. It's 5 years from when I first uploaded on my main channel. And I was going to do something with that. Now, I don't know if that video is going up till tomorrow because I don't feel like anybody going to be wanting to celebrate 5 years. I still got to decide what I want to do with that. So I'm thinking like, I can go, like I went to bed late, like what, 4 or 5 in the morning. I was up working on all this stuff. So I went to bed late. I was also doing like some film breakdown, which I don't even know if that film breakdown could come out now because one of them was Deshaun Watson based. But so I was up late. I woke up and like, I'm just like, all right, man, I got to get something out for my 2:30 video. Let me check Twitter, make sure the roof ain't on fire or something like that. And you know how like in The Walking Dead, there are like these signs of the apocalypse that Rick wakes up to in that room where he like, why nobody here? Why this machine don't work no more? Why my window broken? That's what I felt like. I looked to my right. I'm like, why people talk about DTR? I looked to my left and I'm like, why are so many people talking about DTR right now? I look up. I'm like, yo, why is everybody talking? Okay. All right. It might be a fracture. He might be out for 2 weeks. It sucks, but we still gonna be. I need to check Mary Kay's Twitter. Like this became I need to search Mary. I don't need to wait for it to pop up. I need to search for Mary Kay's Twitter. I searched for Mary Kay's Twitter, and I could not believe what I saw. The video was already up, dog. I was like, out for the year? And it's funny because in his post-game interview on Fox, he does mention that he got his shoulder hurt before he got his ankle hurt. And I was like, that's weird. But I was like, homie, straight, right? Like, he balled out at the end of that game. Hey, man, one incredible performance by him. Anybody who wants to throw a damper on that, y'all can fuck off. Like, I don't care. Like, hurt ankle and he broke his shoulder. Y'all call Baker Mayfield a warrior for throwing 4 interceptions in such circumstances that weren't even that extreme, right? Like, I don't want to hear anybody talk shit about that game anymore. I'm sorry. The amount of slack that y'all gave Baker Mayfield with that labrum injury, get that same slack to Deshaun Watson, despite the fact that he didn't even need the slack because he went 14-14 and won the fucking game against one of the toughest defenses in the NFL. And that's the part that sucks, Cole. Dog, he was back.
He was, dog.
He was back, and now we back to square one.
He was actually, bro. Like, imagine that as a Cleveland Browns fan, and we know that everybody that watch our videos not Browns fans, but a lot of y'all are. So just imagine this, dog. We have been through so much collectively as a fan base since this fucking team came back. We finally get like a little tiny glimpse of what it feels like to have a franchise quarterback. And he is gone immediately for the rest of the season.
Dog, it's like right every time we get that, this happens. It's something like Tennessee. Tennessee, right? Dog, he back. He looked close to back. And then we like, yo, he was like, considering that he was playing through all of that, he was back. Like, we were right there. And now we feel like we've gone back to square one. And it sucks because, yeah, man, Deshaun looked like he was ready to hit that next level. And honestly, his team looked like they were ready to hit the next gear. Now, the good news is that they're 6-3. And they got 8 games left. They only got to go 500 to make the playoffs. And look, now our expectations have reset now that we finally lost another starter on offense, right? Because, like, the thing we don't forget, we've been through a lot as a fan base just this year. If you were just a bandwagon Browns fan from this year, dog, think about everything that you've been through this year. Nick Chubb, not even that. My bad. I forgot. Jack Conklin. Out for the season, 3 quarters into the season. 5 quarters into the season, you lose Nick Chubb. It's over, right? Like, it's over with. Nah, you come back, we still got DESHAUN, right? That was the whole thing after the Titans game. Hey, man, we ain't got Jack, but we got DeJuan. We ain't got Nick Chubb, but we got DESHAUN, right? That was what it was. Well, DESHAUN goes out for 5 weeks after that game. And it's like, well, we still have the defense. And it carries us through this. Right? It legitimately carries us through this. We get DESHAUN back. We lose our left and right tackle in that game, in the Arizona game. They're both out the next week. Jed Wills goes on IR. And so did Cam Mitchell, which was weird. But Jed Wills goes on IR. And we like, you know what, dog? We still got 4. And we still got 95. And now we sit here like, well, let's see if Miles can win the MVP. Like, that's what we are right now. Hey, real question, though. If the Browns find a way to win the division, does Miles get the MVP?
So let's do this. Let's be optimistic for a bit. They don't even have to win the division at this point, in my mind. If this team makes the playoffs,
it's a win.
All of these injuries, first of all, extend Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry today. Like, if they still get into the playoffs with all of this adversity and missing the players that they're missing on offense, if they still find a way to get in, you got to extend everybody. Like, you got to keep everybody here for the long haul, in my opinion.
You keep these dudes motivated through this. It's crazy.
It's crazy. Like, what more could you ask for from a head coach if they survive this and still make the playoffs? Like, what more could you ask for? As far as awards go, if they make the playoffs, Miles for sure has to be defensive player of the year. And honestly, Kevin Stefanski needs to be coach of the year. Like, it should be unanimous. It should be unanimous. Like, who else? All this adversity, I guarantee you, none of the other coaches you have in the running would have survived this. None of them would have survived this. He has to be coach of the year. Has to be. As far as MVP goes, they're not going to give it to a defensive player.
I'm telling you, dog. If they come out here and the defense is that's why I said, in order for Miles to even think about getting MVP, he got to win the division, right? And it has to be obvious that was him. He has to break the sack record, and it's clearly it's been on Miles's back, which is probably going to be that. This to me feels a lot like 2017 Eagles, right? Where it's hey, dog, you just got to put it together. Hey, but you know who was the coach, the defensive coordinator on the 2017 Eagles, right?
Jim Schwartz.
I'm just saying, but yeah, it's partly that, right? If you win the division and Myles Garrett, in order to win the MVP at the defensive position, you got to break the sack record. Plus, right? The bar is incredible, even though there's no quarterback right now jumping out for it. I do think though, if he wins the division and it's a historic year, man, people gonna be ready for that one. The MVP is a narrative award, and just like how Russ could get an MVP because of the narrative, hey man, Miles might get his Russ MVP this year. I'm talking about Russell Westbrook.
Low key. Now that DESHAUN's out, they're gonna be getting a little bit more sympathy from the vote. I'm being real. I'll be real.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying DESHAUN being out, they're gonna make them be you know what a scrappy team, and they're gonna use it against him too. They're gonna be look what they did without him.
Yeah. You got to use it to your advantage. If I'm Kev and if I'm Myles Garrett, you got to use this to your advantage. Use it to your advantage. Get the narrative on your side. Look what I did without him. Look what I did when he wasn't even playing. He wasn't even playing well. I think I just saw a QBR stat. I think DESHAUN was that someone said that his QBR is worse than Sam Darnold's was his first 2 years with the Jets or something like that. Man, use it to your advantage. Use it to your advantage, big dog.
Yeah, that's what I would do. But it's tough. But also I think that this team has been through a ton of adversity. I don't see this being the thing that folds them. This is tough. It's a tough blow. Hey, look, man, I'm just at the point to where I'm not going to bet against these dudes no more, because every time we it's a tough blow. They can't survive that. They survive it. So, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one. And I do think that DTR in this situation, and we talked about this in the preseason, right? If there was somebody you wanted to throw in for a game or two, we always felt like when Josh Dobbs was here, that would be Josh Dobbs' role, and that turned into PJ Walker, right? That made sense. It also makes sense that now that they know DeShaun's out for the rest of the year, they jump over PJ Walker to give the DTR another shot, because that now you have to change the offense a little bit, right? Now you got to go back to the Jacoby Brissett stuff. And I'll put it like this. If there's somebody I feel like can pull it out of a quarterback right now, I trust Kevin. I do. Kevin, you look back, all he's done is keep guys in the league and get guys paid. Right? 2020 Baker Mayfield will be the reason Baker Mayfield gets a chance to start for the rest of his life. What he did under Kevin Stefanski is the reason he's going to get a chance. The reason you could trade him, the reason he starts for a team right now is because of what he did in 2020. You always hear people refer to 2020 when it comes to Baker Mayfield. Jacoby Brissett going to stay in the league for a long time based on the run that he had with the Cleveland Browns. Josh Dobbs comes into the Stefanski pantry for a little bit, a year or two, ends up starting games. He never started when he was in Pittsburgh, right? He didn't start. Nobody picked him up to start. He was just always inactive. But he comes to Cleveland all of a sudden, immediately getting starting jobs because Stefanski's there working with them. And I think Stefanski does do incredible work with quarterbacks, especially quarterbacks like DTR, right? I think it was a bit of an adjustment, and you saw that that's what sucks about this. Like, everything was finally coming together, man. But you saw that adjustment finally get to that place with DESHAUN. Now it's back to, all right, well, Kevin's got to cook, and he's going to have somebody who's not going to be another chef in the kitchen. He's going to be another guy, you know, waiting to be told what to do. And Kevin's really good in those situations of getting good quarterback play out of people. So that's what you get. And remember, you don't need to be a great team to make the playoffs for the rest of the year. You just need to be a 500 team. And your defense is good enough to get you there. So if they could play some, I don't want to say mistake-free, because you can make some mistakes, but if they could play turnover adverse football, they could be a playoff team. Where, if they get to this point, Cole, where is your like, all right, dog, this is absolutely the most reasonable ceiling anybody could have on them? I don't see how anybody talks about being disappointed after this year. And also another question. Do you think if they have success this year, there's going to be something that actually hurts them next year because the bar will be way too high?
So let's just get to the first one. Expectations for the rest of the season. I did a Twitter space earlier, and if y'all follow me on Twitter, y'all might have been in there if we was having a, you know, little vent session. Had to let everybody get their emotions out. Obviously, it's a big deal. But I mentioned in there that as long as this team has a winning record, I feel like you call it a victory. If they finish 9-8, 10-7, you know what I'm saying? No Nick Chubb, no Deshaun Watson, the multiple injuries to your starting offensive linemen. As long as you over 500 at this point, you call it a victory. You call it a win. We were up against a lot. We still had a successful season, especially considering the history of the Cleveland Browns since the team came back. You know, hopefully next year we'll be healthier, and we'll go from there. I think that needs to be the reasonable expectation for the fan base as a whole going forward. It gets to a point where you lose too many guys, it's only so much you can do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I think that's where they are. I think that's where they are now. Now, as far as next year, I don't think expectations are going to be too high because, like, we don't know how these guys, we don't know how they're going to be coming back from injuries. Like, we don't know what Nick Chubb's going to look like coming back from injury, the injury he suffered. We don't know what he's going to look like. We definitely don't know what DeShaun's going to look like. We barely knew what he looked like when he was kind of healthy this year. You know what I'm saying? So I think everybody's just kind of going to be in like a wait and see. You know, we don't really know.
Nah,
we gotta.
We being reasonable right now. We in the bargaining stage agree. If we think that's how people gonna react, and people reacted in that way ever with this in this whole Deshaun Watson situation. I think like 5 people have been doing that, right? Like, nah, I've seen what the energy has been. Let me tell you something. It will be a gift and a curse. And look, I think they're going to finish the season strong because they're still a really good team. Jerome Ford's coming to his own as a running back. And I do think the DTR is actually pretty decent. I just think that he got a bad rap his first game. We'll see. If I'm wrong about that one, who cares? Like, okay, yeah, your quarterback went down for the season and it kind of ruined the year. Oh man, that's so Browns. Like, that only happens to us, right? Like, come on. If the season should be over for any team that goes through such a circumstance, right? Nobody's expecting great things out the Vikings, and that's Kirk Cousins that went down there. Even though, hey, shout out Josh Dobbs, 2 in a row. But back to my main point: if this team goes to the playoffs, Cole, it makes a deep run. You think Browns fans gonna be like, now we gotta make sure we temper our expectations and all that? I'm gonna stop you right there. Even if they do make the playoffs, they are not making a deep run. I'm just saying, they get lucky, they luck out, something happens, whatever happens. Let's say it's super fluke. If they get to the playoffs, period, you know what Browns fans about to be on. You know what me and you about to be on. Okay, you can say all this. We're gonna be reasonable. We don't even know who DeShaun is. Dog, they did all that this year with the backup offense, man. We might win the Super Bowl next year. You know what it's going to be on. You know what time it's going to be on. I don't know why you came out here thinking we about to be reasonable in such circumstances. Like, not a single soul is about to be on the, well, we got to wait and see what the program. That might be the right way to go about it, but you know what we about to be on. This team, they won. They're at 6 wins now. They get to 11 wins, which is possible, by the way. Very possible. They get to 11 wins, Cole. It's going to be one of those things where you can't have a slow start next year, dog, or else it's going to be the same insanity. We did this after the Browns went 7-10. Okay, like 7-10 is all it took for us to be like, man, if DESHAUN played that whole year, and you telling me we get DESHAUN, Nick Chubb, and the offensive line back? Yeah, dog, we about to be like, nah, man, this gonna be our year. For real. We was just reloaded for this year. Nah. But I will say this. I put this out on Twitter. A season in which the Browns win the Super Bowl, starting 3 different quarterbacks, would be the most Browns shit ever. Like, wouldn't it make sense for the Browns to win the Super Bowl in a year in which they had to play 3 starters? Like, that would... I'm just saying, man, if we win one, it ain't going to be normal. We not about to have no franchise quarterback come in here. Like, nah, dog. We about to have a super unorthodox Super Bowl championship if we get to it. And
DTR being the one who wins the ball.
Brother, if I would have transported you back a year ago and told you that Brock Purdy would make the 49ers a legitimate Super Bowl candidate, you would have thought I was even more crazy than you think I am right now. Like, it's not likely. It's not likely. Let me put that out there. I don't expect this, but I am saying, hey, man, best you can hope for is DTR puts it together. You get like a Brock Purdy situation and you roll that shit as far as you can roll it. Or like a Nick Foles and you just roll what you can. Look, truly, this year is week by week. Just win the game in front of you and see what happens. You know, like that's all you can do. And hopefully Miles breaks the sack record and wins the MVP. And we got something to celebrate at the end of the year, or at least defensive player of the year. But somebody, like, please tell whoever is in charge of distributing injuries, like, we done. Like, we maxed out. Like, please stop, dog. Like,
we can't do it no more, man.
We
can't do it no more.
All on one side. Like, can we chill? Can we chill? Can we chill? Like, I don't know who's in charge of that. I don't know what department of the great above is in charge of these things. But we done, dog. Like, enough. Like, we cannot suffer another injury. All right. We already got Amari Cooper out here hopping on one leg. Like, please let us live. This is incredible.
What are we gonna do, man? What are we gonna do? Oh, man.
Hey, man, one thing you can do, ball out. It's only one thing you can't do in these kind of times is ball out. Look, this been a year of some weird shit, man. Tell me this ain't been a year of all kind of weird. You got Josh Dobbs out here about to make the Pro Bowl in the NFC. You got what else is weird going on this season? Oh, the Bills might be one of the worst teams in the AFC. Like, they just fired one of their coaches. That's not good. That usually doesn't coincide with the turnaround.
Man, they fired one of their coaches that was good at his job. That's the crazy thing. Like, that's how you get fired and you doing your job well.
Hey, man, because somebody got to go. And it can't be Josh. And I know Stephon Diggs volunteered, but
so I was like, well, I can't fire myself. So
who
do I like the least?
It's crazy too because they watching Brian Daboll stink it up and thinking like, oh yeah, if we just had Brian still, like, nah, man, this shit was all Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. Like that's all it was. And right now they both not as good as they used to be. Told you about them hits that Josh Allen takes, man, and that's not going to age well. But yeah, it's been a year or some, huh?
I said, yeah, them hits not going to age well. Look at DESHAUN.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Taking hits, man. He took it. They showed the hit. They showed the hit that did it too, and I was like, yeah, that was a bad decision.
Yeah, I mean, it's his play style. He's just not going to avoid those hits. Like, hey man, he's 6-3. Like, yeah, I just finished the season, dog. Finish the season.
6-3, 6-3, good schedule. 6-3, good schedule.
6-3, good schedule. Make sure I'm shake. Hey, look, at least we ain't got to deal with people not appreciating shit no more. Like, I feel like no matter what they do for the rest of the season, people are going to appreciate it if it's positive. Like, that was kind of annoying. Remember the Browns won this game? People had negative takes about the Browns for beating the Ravens on the road. Hopefully, this gets the fan base to calm down and appreciate this season a bit more. I've never seen a less appreciated 6-3 run. Like,
what are the chances DTR just comes out on Sunday and it has a crazy game? What are the chances?
I don't think it's that crazy. Like, I don't think it's not likely. Again, let me use that out because when I say not that crazy, people are like, Quincy, think he's going to do that? No. I think what's likely is 200 yards, a touchdown, and Jerome Ford 20 rushing attempts, right? Like, that's why I think it's likely this week. But if he does come out here and like ball out a little bit, like Pittsburgh's secondary is a little bit leaky. The thing about Pittsburgh this week and why you don't want to throw DTR that much is they aren't the greatest coverage secondary, which means that you get comfortable throwing the ball against them. But they are a pretty good turnover secondary, which means you could throw a lot of like interceptions against them. So they'll have to be careful with that. But yeah, I mean, like Jordan Love looked pretty decent against them, and we know Jordan Love not good. So like it wouldn't shock me if something similar could happen with DTR. And I'll go back to what I said about DTR in the preseason. And again, it's funny how nobody wanted to listen to this when I said it, but people kept comparing his play style to Deshaun Watson. He does not play football like Deshaun Watson at all. DTR plays the game very similarly to Brock Purdy. They are the same type of quarterback. Remember, in the offseason, people were talking about DTR playing so good in the preseason that he might be able to start in San Francisco if he were over there. I don't think that was for nothing, and I think that Baltimore game was really just a horrible, horrible look for him, right? His first start, doesn't even know what he don't know. And I think that DTR is going to come out here and be all right. Now, there are some games on the schedule where I'm like, yeah, he could put up some big numbers because like Amari Cooper on JPJ is something interesting to me. I think that's a good matchup for Amari. But yeah, I'm not going to throw out the possibility that DTR comes out here and is at the very least decent. Hey, and if it's not, we going to be entertained because you know who that means going to be in the game.
PJ.
Throw it up, PJ. Throw it up, man. Hey. Jump ball.
At least I'll be entertained.
Amari Cooper going to have the best year of his life.
At least we going to be entertained, man. At least we going to be entertained.
Man. Look, when PJ Walker, never a dull moment. Dull moment. You will feel something. Okay.
Dog, he really had a fourth quarter comeback in a place that we never win. And a couple days later, he's out.
Yo, he had that fourth quarter comeback with a hurt ankle and apparently a shoulder that needed surgery.
Broken shoulder.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, and now we
It's
banking
crazy.
on DTR.
And
Go ahead, DTR.
the same idiots who were trying to dunk on that are probably going to be like, see, he's injured. It was a bad trade. Like, they're still going to try to use this as a dunk on him. Like, he's not, there's no winning this either way. It's crazy. It's
nuts.
crazy. Hey man.
People was talking about karma. And I'm like, bro, do you not know the history of the Cleveland Browns since we came back? What are you talking about? This is not karma. We've been bad. Like we've been getting the tough breaks. We've been awful. 0-16, 1-15. Like what? Like what are you talking about? This is karma.
No, it's hilarious. Remember, see, like that stuff hurts, but what hurt more was 2014 when we was like, man, when Josh Gordon gets back, and Josh Gordon got back and ruined the whole offense. The team was 7-4. Josh Gordon, we had Kyle Shanahan, right, and Mike McDaniel on that staff. Mm-hmm. The team was 7-4. The offense was looking great with like Taylor Gabriel and Andrew Hawkins. We're like, man, once we get Josh back, and we didn't know that Josh didn't run none of the routes that Kyle told him to run. And we was like, yo, is he ruining the offense? Our best player was ruining the offense. This is one of the weirdest things about Kyle Shanahan. Like, you go back through his history and you see some incredible stuff with some scrubs, but then you look at like some of the stuff he's done with some elite players, and there's been like the Julio Jones stuff, right, in Atlanta. Like, that was really high level stuff. But then you look at some stuff and you like, dog, like, he really couldn't get nothing done with this dude. Like, if Randy Moss played in a Shanahan system with Kyle Shanahan, he would have looked like Oakland Randy Moss under Kyle Shanahan, because Kyle's like, you must run what I tell you to run. And Randy's like, I'm going to get open, big dog. Like, how about you just throw it to me, man? Because that was the problem in Oakland with Randy. You remember those stories where it was like, Kerry Collins couldn't sight read? He was like, I'll just be open. He don't want to throw the ball because I don't be where he think I'm supposed to be. I'm Randy Moss. I'm where I'm supposed to be. Open, dog. Went to New England, didn't change a single thing. He's like, hey, Tom, I'm going to be open. And Tom was like, I know. Here you go. Like,
oh, man.
Wait. Yeah, that shit was hilarious, man.
How do you think the defense is feeling, though, man? Because I was talking about this earlier. I'm like, man, how do you like? We might get the. You know how when something bad happens to a team,
yeah, there's like that back-breaking moment.
The game immediately after the bad thing happens, they come out real crazy and they usually win that game. Like when a coach get fired, you know what I'm saying? Coach get fired, that very next game, you play the team that just fired their coach, you probably about to lose that game.
We don't even got to go to a hypothetical situation. Nick Chubb has one of the worst ACL injuries we ever seen. Like, by the way, they're trying to get a vengeance for that. Like this week.
I think they might be all right this Sunday. It's the games following that I'm just like, I don't know, dog.
Hey, man, here's the thing, though. You win Sunday, you got 7 wins. It's easy to motivate yourself, no matter what you got in there. You can have Josh Dobbs. You can have, who's a bag? If Desmond Ridder got to 7 wins, I promise you that people in that Falcons locker room be like, hey, man, maybe this the year that Des puts it together. Like, football players will believe anything if they think they are this close to the precipice, right? Because that's what it has to be. But like, we believed in Baker Mayfield because he won 11 games one time, right? Like we were sticking through that for a very long time because of that one season. So, hey, you get to 7 wins, you win this game against Pittsburgh. I don't care what happened for the rest before that. The team gonna be like, hey, we 7-3. And I ain't like I'm worried. Like the Broncos, they're one on the schedule. The Rams, like you got a chance to get this together. And also another important tidbit is that they're going on the West Coast after this for 2 weeks. So they're not going to be in Cleveland. So they'll be able to reset their mind, everything else. We'll see how it goes. But I haven't seen a bomb like this get dropped in the middle of the season so unexpectedly in my life. And I would have to imagine this is very similar to when they told the team that they were moving in 1995.
Somebody said that in space. Somebody just said that in space, though.
Like, that's the only thing I feel like comes close. Because nothing has ever happened like this. This is crazy. This is crazy. And the team did not respond well to that. But no, this is a different team.
They taked it immediately after that. They
weren't that good before it, too. But, you know. Well, were they? Was the 95 team that they were good in 94?
I think they were actually like doing well. And then they announced that the team was moving, and then they were all just kind of like, well.
Let me see if I could tell when the team got announced to be moving. Oh, yeah, they did that. Let me guess. Did they announce the team was moving somewhere between September 24th and October 2nd? Let's see. Browns move to Baltimore date. Like, November 6th, 1995. Okay. So they had an extra buff. They weren't that good that year. They weren't that good. So November 6th, what was their record at that time? Okay, they were what, 3-1, 3-3, 3-4. They were 4-4. They lose to the Oilers. They announced, so they were what, 4-5. They lose to the Oilers. They announced that the team's moving. The Browns lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight.
All motivation was gone.
6 of the last 7 games they lost. Finished the season 5.
All motivation 11. Was gone. All motivation.
So this is a little bit different, right? Like this is happening when they're 6-3. There's a lot more confidence and ability to overcome in this year than that. But yeah, I mean, it's a tough break either way. It's important they got that win, though. It's important they got that win. Hats off to DESHAUN. You know, we might look back at that win if this team does squeeze a miracle out for the rest of the season, whatever you would define a miracle as. That win's definitely going to play a part in that, right? Like, that's a win you don't get without him there. And that's what I'll say on the optimistic side for the Cleveland Browns. You look at the rest of their schedule and you don't see a game that you feel like you absolutely 100% needed Deshaun Watson to win. Like, you go through all the games before the season, we thought that was going to be Cincinnati, at Pittsburgh because it's at Pittsburgh. We didn't win it probably because of Deshaun too in that game. So, you know, Baltimore, week 4, you felt like you probably needed Deshaun to win that game. San Francisco ended up not needing Deshaun, but you were thinking before the season you needed Deshaun to win that game. At Seattle and at Baltimore. Now you play for the rest of the year Pittsburgh, who, like, you know, Pittsburgh's no joke, but at home you will hope that your defense is good enough and that you're competent enough offensively to be able to bring that one home. At Denver, I would say we feel like we don't need Deshaun to win that game. At Los Angeles, good team. Don't need Deshaun that one. Win that one. Jacksonville's a little tough, but Jacksonville, you know, they're up and down. So that's not a game that's like it's unreasonable if you want it. Like we're not as in shock as we are like when PJ Walker beat the 49ers, right? Like that would be like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense, you know, and we might be rolling at that point. Who knows? The Bears.
You can win that.
You should win that, regardless of who's at quarterback. At Houston's tough.
That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough.
Who knows where CJ Stroud is at that point? Maybe he cools off. Maybe he's hotter than ever. But that's one you got to watch, that at Texans game. The New York Jets game, hey, baby, we in the same spot as you. Except for, you know, hopefully the DTR is better than Zach, whatever his name is. Zach Wilson. Yeah. Yeah. And we got Miles. And then at Cincinnati, who, you know, look, I know they supposed to be this big bad wolf and everything, but look, man, we done beat Cincinnati with the backup before. We don't play the same Cincinnati everybody else play. We get Cincinnati on a discount for whatever reason every year. So not to not like it's impossible. You look at that stretch, 8 games, 4 games, 4 wins get you into the playoffs. If you win against Pittsburgh, now you're saying 3 wins for 7 games. I think that they'll be able to stay motivated. The win-loss record being what it is going to be, in my opinion, what keeps this from being a back-breaking moment for this team and this defense. Because real talk, we know what the record is, and we know why the record is what it is. And most of those wins that are on that record aren't because of quarterback play. Like, quarterback play helped in some moments, but I would say 60 to 70% of that effort defensively responsible. Some of these games were 100% on the defense, like San Francisco, right? Like, so I understand no Nick Chubb, no Deshaun Watson. That's tough, Browns fans, but your franchise player is still there. Now, if Myles Garrett go out, it's a wrap. It's over with. They're not withstanding that blow. Okay. Like, that is the one you cannot take. Like, abandon ship. This thing's about to turn over. It is, as they say, a wrap, because that's all we got. That's all we've had. 9-5. Hey, we got 95. That's what we got right now, dog. It's Myles Garrett. And as long as we got Myles, we got a shot. Okay? As long as we got him, we got a shot.
Hey, real quick. Hey, did you see the Adrian Berry press conference?
No, I didn't get to watch that yet.
I ain't go cap, bro. I saw like the first couple minutes. That is the most dejected and just straight up depressed that man has ever looked. Oh man, all he talked about was how tough DESHAUN was and how mentally tough, everybody is. I'm like, oh yeah.
Because he saw what we saw, dog. We might have been able to win all 8 of these games. Like, he's like, hey, we might mess around and get the 1 seed. Like, it wasn't out the realm of possibility. Man, now we out here scrapping for 6 or 7, dog. It's tough. It's tough.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
No, like, it's like, the 1 seed is right. Like, we could have had the 1 seed, man.
Bro, we really could have won a division. Like, 100% could have won a division.
No doubt. Like, again, look at that stretch. If we think that we can get a favorable outcome without a starting quarterback, and we felt like Deshaun Watson was like back, and we know what this defense is, your toughest test was the Jaguars on that stretch. That was what was standing in your way. It was the Jaguars in travel. Now it's a little bit more difficult. Hey, man. It's just, well, I feel like it's more dejecting. It would be less dejecting if he did not play well and he got hurt, because he'd be like, all right, nothing changed. Nah, man, it changed. We felt the difference. We were finally like, yo, it's happening.
Oh.
Nope. The second time this year.
Oh,
it's rough, man. It's rough. Look, today's gonna be a rough day of practice, but at least it happened early in the week. So hopefully by the time they get to Sunday, they ready to show the world, and hopefully somebody says something stupid nationally. Like, that's what we need. Like, who's the one that's gonna say it? We need Colin Cowherd to step up in these moments, right?
Like Adam Rank.
Oh,
Adam Rank to say it. I need
the Colin Cowherd segment. It's just something about that water in Cleveland. And this is just what happens. And he gonna blame Deshaun Watson get hurt on being a bad organization or whatever. Like, he gonna do his whole thing. He's like, look, man, this they can't overcome this. They can't withstand this. And then somebody play it in the locker room for him, get them all riled up, and they get to 7 wins. Hey, man, I don't care who played at quarterback. You get to 7-3, you are motivated. Okay, like, that is a motivating record right there. You just look at the record like, hey, we could do this. And they still got 95, right? They got 95, and they got Cooper, and that's been enough. It's been enough before. Who knows what it look like? Like, I don't know if you beat Pat Mahomes with that combo, but maybe. Like, I don't know. Dog, let's just 1 week at a time. 1 week at a time.
1 week at a time.
1 week at a time. Just we need to go 1-0 this week. You know what I mean? Go 1-0. Now, look, if they do get this win versus Pittsburgh, they gonna come out rough versus that Denver Broncos game, because that will be an emotional victory. And then a road game, and the Broncos low-key aren't that bad. That might be a rough one. But if you get this one, who cares? Like,
hey, they said they gonna bring in a new quarterback. Who you think is gonna be? They said they gotta bring in one more.
I would hope it's not Kellen Mond.
No, we're not gonna do that. You can't do that to the fan base. You can't do that to the fan base.
Let's see who is out there that's available. Are they bringing them on the main roster, or is it practice squad?
I think it might be practice squad. It might be main roster though, just in case, just because of the injuries.
Okay, so let's get this out the way. Not gonna be Carson Wentz.
Nah.
Nick Foles would be hilarious, but it can't be Nick Foles. Hey, what's Josh Johnson doing these days?
Come on, bro.
Hey, bro, that's what he's here for. Josh Johnson? Who you think they're gonna bring in? Now, we don't have to say it out loud, but there are rules that applied when Deshaun Watson was the starting quarterback. Do you think those same rules are going to apply with the quarterback room?
No.
You don't think so? So you think they might bring in a veteran?
They gonna bring in an adult.
I don't know about an adult, but they might bring in a fan favorite. You know, like
scrappy, hardworking.
Joe Flacco.
Bring his lunch to work kind of guy. That kind of guy.
Yeah, you know, somebody to be a coach on the sidelines. Because real talk, they do need somebody who's played some games to be on there on the sidelines. Like, because Deshaun's gonna have to do rehab. He can't be there every week. Like, you do need somebody there to be like, hey man, like when I saw this in 2000 and whatever, this is what I did. Because who's doing that right now for DTR? PJ Walker, Cam Newton. You bring in Cam Newton to be the inactive guy.
They threw out Cam. They threw out Cam.
They did. Who threw out Cam?
People have been throwing out Cam all day. You know what? I'm gonna take it a step farther.
Oh no.
I'm gonna look into the camera. Andrew Berry, go get me Colin Kaepernick. Go get me Colin Kaepernick.
Nah, I'm not trying to see this city react to that.
Go get me Cap.
No, it is. There's not.
Go get me Cap.
Nah.
Hey, we went in the PR battle. We went in them all back. Go get me Cap.
Hey, dog. Nah.
we getting the media back on our side. Go bring.
So we can talk about knocking off. That's just something you do if you like. Hey man, I'm real nostalgic for talking about knocking off the rust. Like, let's get somebody more rusty than Deshaun Watson. Like,
hey, let's be clear. I don't expect him to play.
But just have him there.
Have him on the sideline. Have the cameras there. You know what I'm saying? Have the cameras there. Make sure the social media team is around him. You know what I'm saying? Get the accounts fired up. Let's do it.
Dog, you'd see how the city reacted to Odell Beckham, man. Like, what PR battle are we winning?
We need some good vibes. We just need some good vibes in the locker room. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Josh Johnson, good vibes guy. That's what you need to bring in. Josh Johnson. Is he on a roster right now?
Is Cam a good vibe? I feel like Cam's a good vibes guy. Oh no!
I mean, Cam's a good vibes guy if he's starting.
Oh, facts.
And playing well. Like, Cam being a glorified coach, I don't think that's what the brother wants to be in Cleveland for. Like, he liked it in Atlanta. This is a man who owns a cigar bar. He's not trying to just be around. Like, there is nothing about Cam Newton that shouts to me, I'm just happy to be around. And that's kind of what you need a backup quarterback to be, is happy to be here.
But you know who would be happy to be here?
Jordan Teamu.
Oh man, I don't even know who else they could bring. Yeah, I saw somebody say Nick Mullins.
Hey man, he on the Baltimore Ravens right now. Did you know that he was on the Baltimore Ravens?
Oh, Josh Johnson?
Josh Johnson, yes. Apparently on the active roster.
Oh, that ain't happening.
Yeah, he was released August 29th, re-signed 2 days later. They released him again and then re-signed him 2 days later. Hey, shout out to Josh Johnson, man. Had this long of a career out of San Diego. Not San Diego State. My man went to San Diego University.
Keep getting them checks, Josh. Keep getting them checks.
Man. Hey, Josh Dobbs coming for his spot.
Man, I don't even know who else is out there. Trevor Siemian?
Nah. Let's see.
Like, I see Trevor Siemian. I see Nick Mullins. You said Nick Foles already. Yeah, man, I don't know.
It'll probably be Nick Mullins.
Unless somebody asked to be waived this week, like, please release me so I can go to Cleveland. You see what Gronk said? You see what Gronk said?
What?
Don't look it up. Don't look it up because I need your reaction. He said, Mac Jones should request to be released so he can go to the Cleveland Browns.
Why he want to do that to us? All right, I'm gonna go over some practice squad quarterbacks. Like, is he benched right now? Did they bench him yet?
Who? McCorkle?
Mac Jones. Yeah.
They benched him for Zappy.
They cut Zap Man. They cut the Zap Man earlier this year, brought him back just to, that's crazy. All right, so the practice squad for the Bills. Shane QnCOLB. The Dolphins have on their practice squad no quarterbacks. Malik Cunningham and Bailey Zapp is he starting now? Bailey Zapp?
I don't know I don't know what's going on. He played on Sunday. I know that.
Okay. Wow. Let me see when this list is from. Okay, this list is from September, so I need an updated list before we can go all in on it. NFL practice squads. Is this accurate, up to date? Nah, because it says Jeff Driscoll's on the practice squad for. Oh no, that's up to date. That's up to date. All right, so Jeff Driscoll in Arizona. Atlanta does not have a quarterback on the practice squad, but I'm sure they will happily release you Desmond Ridder because they hate him. They ran the ball on 3rd and 9. They hate Desmond Ridder down there, dog. Like, and nobody on Baltimore's practice squad. Buffalo, Shane Buechele, Jake Luton. Oof. Hey, man, ain't no good quarterbacks on the practice squad. Hey, AJ McCarron.
These people are real people.
Oh, AJ McCarron. Yeah, let's go full circle. No Nick Chubb, AJ McCarron. Parallel universe. Nobody on the Cleveland Browns practice squad at quarterback right now, as we know. Dallas. Nobody. Ben DiNucci. XFL MVP. Ben DiNucci.
Oh.
on
Okay.
the Denver Broncos practice squad. Hey, David Blau,
Was
former
he
Purdue
on the Browns?
quarterback.
Was he on the Browns before?
No, I don't think so.
Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of somebody else. I think he was on the Cardinals. Alex Magoo, USFL MVP. Hey man, Magoo got a good arm. He just be throwing shit though. Like he be throwing some crazy stuff. He kind of like PJ Walker but taller. So I mean, let's see here. Anybody else that seems interesting? Kellen Mond, somehow somebody's practice squad. Shout out to
Hell
Kellen
no.
Mond. Uh, Nathan Rorick from Ohio University, your alma mater. You know,
Oh, you know what? Bring the Bobcat, man. Bring the Bobcat in.
I don't know. That don't even sound like a name that's good. Like Nathan Rorick. I think he's ass just by looking at him. Like, okay, Nate, I'm not about to get cooked by him. Chris Oladokin, who I've always liked. I thought he was a candidate to be on the Browns practice squad. So maybe they go Chris Oladokin, former South Dakota State quarterback, was on Pittsburgh for a little bit too. Max Duggan. You want to go Max Duggan here?
No.
Hey, man, where's Stenson Pettit? He ain't on the practice squad. He on the active roster. They got to protect Stenson Pettit. Miami Dolphins, no quarterbacks. I could not imagine that the Minnesota Vikings have a quarterback on their wow, they do. Sean Mannion. How bad do they feel about him? Malik Cunningham. We already talked about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Athletic from Louisville. Third pick in the USFL draft. I don't know if that means anything to anybody. Jacob Eason, who's behind Tommy DeVito right now, so don't think he's any good. Trevor Siemian, who's on the Jets practice squad.
Mm.
And
How bad is Trevor Siemian that he can't get snaps over Zach Wilson?
that's what I'm telling you right now. He's not good. We saw what Trevor Siemian looked like when he played for the Jets. Remember that game where the Browns played awful and won by 20 on Monday Night Football against the Jets? That was Trevor Siemian.
Oh, I didn't even remember.
Yeah. Yeah, they suck. Seahawks practice squad, Brett Ripien. And Tampa Bay practice squad, nobody. And Jake Fromm.
Yeah, we good with DTR, dog. We're okay.
I'm telling you, DTR and some dude off the street. Like, maybe you bring in, like, they can't go young prospect route. I don't know, man. Yeah, said they might bring in anybody, to be honest with you. I have no idea who they're gonna bring in. As the third guy to this room. But we'll see what happens. That's been our full reaction to this news. Y'all remember the team 6-3. If they win this week, we gonna be straight, dog.
You didn't even say have a good day, have a good night. Like, hey, it's gonna be okay.
Hey man, I'm gonna say that later, but I gotta make sure that we have perspective. They 6-3. If they beat Kenny Pickett and the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, they 7-3. And I know that this team has fumbled 7-3 before, 7-4 before.
Don't bring that up, bro.
I understand. But this is not the same team. This is not Mike Pettin. Okay? This is different. They can pull this one through.
Hey.
But we'll see what happens, man. Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night.
Tell us where you were and what was going on in the comments when you heard the news.
Mm-hmm.
He was out for the year.
Hey man, shout out to my people who found out on the toilet because statistically speaking, there had to be at least 20 of you.
Hey, if you was on the job when the news broke, just tell us what the atmosphere was like. If you was on the job in Cleveland when the news broke, I don't care if you was in the office. I don't care if you worked in the factory.
Hey, pray for them office people because you know it's always one guy that roots for a rival team that like, hey, John, did you hear? What are you going to ask all these questions you know you ain't got answers to? I love my homeboys from college, but they still are fans, right? I went to Youngstown. Youngstown's right there next to Western Pennsylvania. So a lot of my friends are still fans. And Nick Chubb got hurt. I got on the video game with them, and I wanted to choke both of those dudes out. They are my homeboys. I will die for them, but I wanted to kill them in that moment because they kept asking me, what are y'all going to do without Nick Chubb? Man, a knee should have been like that. That was just all like, would y'all shut the fuck up?
Hey, no. Hey, shout out Domo, because he said he had a whole bunch of bets with Steelers fans, and they was texting him like, "Yeah, dog, we not even gonna do it. We ain't even gotta do that, man. You forget about that."
Look, Dabo, double down, Dabo, double down, Dabo, double down, and then come back on it like, yeah, if we do this with DTR, I don't even want it. I can hear him right now, dog.
He said, I've never been more insulted in my life.
I know he doubled down. He's like, you know what? 20 more on them bets, dog. Each of them. Fuck it.
He's like, y'all not gonna do me like, you're not gonna take pity on me.
Not when your quarterback is Kenny Pickett.
Like, come on, man.
Like, DTR might be better. Like, stop playing. Okay.
Hey, man, that was funny. But please tell us where you were, what was going on when you heard the news that DESHAUN's done for the year. Because we try to we giving y'all an opportunity to vent, but more important than that, we all need to laugh.
Hey man, you know who I feel like has a hilarious story about when they found this out?
Who?
Our guy Dennis.
Dennis for sure. No, did you see his tweet immediately after the news broke?
No, what did he tweet?
No, go look it up before we close it. Go look it up, bro.
Okay, let me go look this up, man. Let me go look this up. When did the news break?
Yeah, you go see the tweet. I promise you. Unless he deleted it, you go see the tweet.
Wait, is that really?
Oh man! I'm telling you, man. Dennis said all the things that we cannot say. Shout out, Dennis.
He got 2,000 likes on it.
Oh man! My stomach just caught a cramp.
Oh shit.
Oh
shit. The crazy thing was he was just in the middle of talking shit about how people talk about how Browns celebrate wins. He was on dunk mode when this news broke.
Oh man. Shout out Browns.
Hey man, I don't know what my man does for a living, but whatever he does, he wasn't doing it for like 2 hours. Like
they was in Slack today, like, hey QnCOLB, you okay? Man, fuck no, I'm not okay.
It's funny when a big injury happens to your football team, people react to it like it's death. Like they be like, hey man, if you need anybody to talk to, I just want you to know that I'm here for you. Like if you ever need a shoulder to talk to, you know, like that's when you have your most heartfelt conversations with your homeboys is when something bad happened. Look, one of my homeboys is a Jet fan. I was like, man, I can't believe this is happening to you right now. Like, had to call to check in on him. He done had 2 kids, got married. Last time I checked in on him was at the wedding. Aaron Rodgers went down. I need to talk to my homeboy right now. He needs somebody. Like, it's really how male friendships go sometimes. Like,
hey, speaking of Jets fans, shout out my guy Nick Stefanski. Is he a Jets fan? And as soon as Rodgers went down, he was like, "Yeah, man, that's it."
Hey,
like,
man, if the Jets can win 4 games with Zach Wilson, we can do it too, baby.
We can do it with DTR.
We can do it too. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
We gonna do this, man. We gonna do this. So let me know what your reaction was, or if you know somebody who had a funny reaction, man. Because look, it's happened. That man ain't coming back. He's going through shoulder surgery. It might be a wrap. Like, I don't know. Like, he might not ever be the same again after that. We'll see. Shoulder surgery on your throwing shoulder. Shit's no joke. But you know what is a good joke? Finding this out. Like,
waking up to this news.
We need to open up a voicemail line because I feel like these stories would be much more hilarious in voicemail format. I need to figure out how to do such a thing so we can hear these voicemails about where you were when this news dropped. Because we gonna get some people, dog, and people put so much into their team, man. At this point in the year, I wouldn't be surprised if we heard somebody cry. Like, I know some people cried.
No, bro. When I was doing the Twitter space, somebody came in and you could definitely hear like, oh no, man, this got you down. Like, this really got you.
Hey, man. If it weren't for the shock of me waking up, I don't know what I would have been doing. It's crazy too, because I found out the Browns traded for DESHAUN the same way. Okay, like, had the same exact feeling for this news as I did for when they traded for DESHAUN, because they traded for, I was like, huh? Like, didn't see that one coming. Didn't see that one actually happening. Thought it was over with, right? Because it sounded like it was over with, but hey, man, DTR, get it done, bro. Get it done, bro. It's okay, though. It ain't all on you. Just throw that shit up to 2.
Like, if it's not there, throw it away.
Hey, 2 running back out of bounds. That's the offense for you, dog. You know, Elijah Moore, I'm sorry, brother. You're getting 400 yards this year. Like, imagine being Elijah Moore, man. Imagine being Elijah Moore. You come in here, you like, dog, I'm finally about to get these numbers, man. You got this chemistry going with DESHAUN all season. You like, yes, finally I'm away from Zach Wilson. Finally, I'm away from that mess of a quarterback situation. And then you get back here in Cleveland, you working out with DESHAUN. It's like, yo, it's like butter. It's just coming together. And then DESHAUN get hurt. And you catching passes for PJ Walker. But it's cool because he coming back. And then he come back, he balls. You start getting involved in the offense. Well, you're like, all right. About to get back on track. About to get both back on track. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then now DTR in there, and you like, hey, man, I know his skill set. I ain't never getting this ball, dog. Like, I ain't, he not hitting these deep to intermediate throws. Like, it's just, nah, dog. All right, well, better get good at those end rounds. Like, you know, post quarter, that's all I got to do. Like, hey, but Amari Cooper, I don't think he cares who plays quarterback because it's like, to keep it a buck with you, he gonna put up better numbers if the starter ain't in there, because that's who they gonna throw it to. It's gonna be Coop all day, and Coop about to get up and get busy. But yeah, I couldn't imagine being Elijah Moore. Like, he the one dude that needed the quarterback to be decent in order to get his numbers, and he's like, "Yo, is it me?" Like, Like, is it me? Like, is this my fault? Like,
I promise you, Elijah, it's not you. It's not you, brother. It's not you.
yeah, it's the fact that you played for the Jets and then the Browns. Like, boy, like, if I've never seen somebody who needed to just become a San Francisco 49er, much like Elijah Moore needs to. Imagine him on the Chiefs.
Oh, he'd be so cold in the Chiefs. He's so cold.
Yeah. He don't ever get no breaks, dog.
So cold in the Chiefs.
But yeah, for the last time, we are finally out of here. Deshaun Watson out for the rest of the year. We decided to give y'all, look, if you're not going to get Deshaun Watson for the rest of the year, what we can do is give you an extra 70 minutes of podcast this week. Because I know you need it. But let me know your I found out. Let me know your hilarious I found out. Not like crazy bad news. I don't want to know like when you found out somebody around you died or nothing like that. But like, you know, something that's like light bad news like this, right? Like, oh, your football team season over. You found out LeBron James just left Cleveland, or you found out LeBron James just left the Heat, or you found out LeBron James just signed with the Lakers, or something like that. Like whatever your bad news is, it's not too deep. Okay. Like,
hey, don't tell us I found out LeBron went to the Lakers stories, because I'm gonna look in those comments and see it, and I'm gonna laugh at you. So please don't do that.
mm-hmm.
Don't tell us that. Us that
yep.
Don't
I want to know where you were when the biggest sports bomb of your life got dropped. Oh, I want to know what it was like when the young Kobe heard about these trade requests that Kobe Bryant had in 2006.
Hey man, going through it. Oh, I was like,
you want to leave?
You want to go to the fucking Clippers, the Bulls?
The thing that was hilarious is like, I didn't put it in context. Y'all had to take that trade request serious, because it was his second one in 4 years because of the whole Shaq situation. Mm-hmm. And I go watch The Secret Base on that, because I can't imagine anything like that happening today. The amount of public stuff that was out there in that rivalry between him and Shaq is quite frankly absurd. Like,
yes, please support the company I work for. Go watch every Secret Base video you can, please. No,
that Shaq video, I was like, yo, he said what? Like that remix that he made on that play. I was like, that got out and edited and everything. Like Stephon Diggs' brother tweets that he might want to be out of there, and that might be enough to get Stephon Diggs out of there. They did way worse stuff. Kobe dry snitched on Shaq. Like, they had beef. Like, it's one thing to have a beef. It's another thing to feel like the divorce that you had was responsible for somebody who you play basketball with. That is, nah. The blame, he blamed him for the divorce, which is crazy because, like, I mean, if that's really what was going on that led to the divorce, Shaq, I don't think Kobe telling on you was what was going to be the primary. But it might be that you was doing it, dog. Like, if that were the case.
Please tell us, yo, when did you find out you got bad sports news stories? Or just tell us where you was at when the DESHAUN news broke, man. Because I would check the timeline. It was rough for a lot of people.
I'm trying to think in Cleveland history, like, where has there been worse news that hit us out of nowhere? Because LeBron didn't hit us out of nowhere at the time. We kind of saw those coming. We didn't want to believe it.
It still hit the city hard, though. It still hit the city hard.
Yeah, because there was nothing to cheer about. Like, everything else sucked, too. Like, you know, like when LeBron left with the Lakers, like the Browns were on the uptick. You know, the Guardians were fine. It was like, all right, we won a championship. Hey, man, Brian, do what you want. You want to start movies or whatever, make terrible house party remakes. Go ahead and do that in L.A., man. We happy for you.
And still win. Don't leave that part out. And still win.
Oh, yeah. Won a championship during the pandemic. You know, that was fun. Did y'all ever have a parade for that?
I don't even know if they did.
That's great.
But we won. That's all that matters. We won.
In the most forgettable NBA finals of all time. You know, like, that's the one, like, it doesn't help that he went 3-1 before that. Like,
Hey,
like that will be the most forgotten about championship ring of all time.
hey, you might forget about it. We won't.
Hey, shout out to Kobe, man. Kobe won him that ring that year. But that bad news, man. I don't know where you could be, where I could even compare this to, like, the Guardians. Like, I don't even care about them enough to have this kind of feeling over. Like,
I really don't know.
like what, Trent Richardson being traded? We felt really bad about that at the time.
Did we?
Yeah, we thought Trent was him. Remember we was comparing him to Jim Brown? He had a good rookie year. We just traded him.
After that rookie year, I feel like, that's fine. We got a first round pick.
There were people all over the spectrum with Trent Richardson in that trade. But you go back in time, man, people were furious about that one.
Man, I really can't think of anything that was like this.
Now it's been a minute.
We were just like, when you just saw the news and you were just like, fuck.
Yeah, man, and like, it's just rough. It's rough, but this team is rough, Cole. This team is tough, Cole. And you know what? We're going to have 70,000 dogs barking in Cleveland Browns Stadium to help us get back on our feet against them damn Steelers. And you know what would make all this feel better? Steeler tears. Like, imagine, it would have been a cool victory with DESHAUN over them. Hey, man, we beat y'all through this much turmoil. Y'all going to be pretty salty about that one. Steeler fans. So, get that dub this week. Focus on the next week. You got Mr. Dangerous, Russell Wilson the week after that. And then you got Matthew Stafford and the LA Rams. But right now, focus on Pittsburgh Steelers and see what happens, man. Hey, this season has taught me one thing. Don't count this team out no matter what. And that's the only thing I can really pull away from it. But yeah, it sucks. Y'all have a great day. Have a good night. Hey, man, shout out to all my postal workers who did not deliver mail for like at least 10 minutes after finding out this news.
Hey, shout out to everybody that had jobs. It was like, it's not that important right now.
I know there were some delivery trucks in Cleveland that were stopped. Like, bro, what?
Hey, shout out to Dennis because he do drive and I guarantee you somebody got their package a little bit late.
Somebody was checking that tracker like, hey, he's supposed to be here. Hey.
Oh man. Oh god.
Shout out to them people, man. Shout out to all my Uber drivers who did not pick up a fare because they were checking Twitter. You gotta slide. I gotta slide off the app now, dog. Like, somebody definitely got their Uber Eats order eaten.
100%. Because it's bigger than you right now. It's more important.
Nah, man. Right now. Hey, bro, DESHAUN just went out for the year, dog. I'm about to eat your French fries. Like,
you'll be all right.
You'll be all right. Okay. You ordered this. Like, they'll take care of you. Shout out to all my people out there, man. Hey, to my homeboy that's a 911 dispatcher that watches the show. Hey, man, stay level. Stay level. The streets need you, dog.
Hey,
the streets need you.
Hey,
you got to go to work, bro.
You can't get emotional.
you got to go to work, dog.
You going to have to thug this out to your shit. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh yeah, hey bro, we here for you. But I mean, you got to get back in that game, son. It's like an offensive lineman, like, hey man, he can go out because he got cramps. You can't.
You can't.
You better tie something on that calf and get back out there, dog. Like, we ain't got no backup for you.
Oh man.
Hey man. Dog. PJ Walker, he's making out like a bandit this year, dog. He gonna be on the full roster all year. Like, he's about to make $2 to $3 million. He is like, you know what? I don't know why everybody's so upset. This is working out for me. Like,
Hey,
And
you
I
know,
bet in PJ Walker's mind, he's like, hey, man, the rookie don't work out. I don't know why everybody tripping. Y'all know I'm here.
hey man, I bet you everybody in the locker room feeling a little down, you know what I'm saying? And it's just there's PJ smiling,
What's
happy.
good, bro? Hey, man, folk gonna be fine, man. You know me, like big. Yeah. You checking his account, like, yeah, she come in, dog. It's guaranteed. I'm getting this money. Hey, man, y'all want to throw a barbecue?
We need to pick me up. Y'all need to pick me up.
You know what I mean? Hey. And also, like, shout out to apparently this locker room loves DESHAUN because like 12 people were like, hey, bro, we'll work out with you. We will fly to Atlanta to work out with you.
What is that? How is that helping anybody right now?
You know what it is, Cole? They going down there, they like, hey, bro, we need to make sure he get back good. Like, they know what's at stake. Okay. They saw what we saw, man. Look, everybody in that locker room after that game against Baltimore was like, we might win the Super Bowl this year. Like, this is the closest they've ever felt.
Amari was dancing.
Because he knew what it was, man. Everybody knew what it was. That's the thing. It's not that you might not make the playoffs. You're probably going to make the playoffs. It's not that. People weren't excited for that. They was like, this month, we about to win it all, dog. The one thing we needed showed up. Like, we good. We good. Why do you think DESHAUN was out there about to cry? Because he knows. He was like, dog, this might be my best shot at one. Like, he knows. He knows.
They really got everything you need.
Dog.
They got it all. They got a defense that you can win a Super Bowl with. They got a kicker you can win a Super Bowl with.
You don't even feel that bad about Nick Chubb being out because Jerome Ford stepping up. Like, you like, okay, we got everything we need, dog. DESHAUN back. He looking like DESHAUN again. And if he's that, who beating us? Who better than us? Like, we just went into Baltimore and proved that we're better than Baltimore. Like, the Browns played sloppy in that game, won that game, because they're better than Baltimore when they have a healthy Deshaun Watson. Hell, he wasn't even healthy for half the game. Like, they beat Baltimore
for the
like
half
that.
of the game. He wasn't healthy for the half of the game where they came back and beat him.
Yes.
Oh my God, we really had it all.
Hey man, you know what to get this all turned around? If DTR come out there and throw for 300 against Pittsburgh, hey, it ain't gonna take much for them to believe. All right, we just gonna roll with the young fella, dog. We got this. Like,
DTR.
Let me tell you.
Watching, if you listening, I don't care what everybody else got to say. I don't care what nobody in the media got to say. I don't care what any other fans got to say. I believe in you, brother. I believe in you. If nobody else believes in you, QnCOLB believe in you.
Absolutely.
Go get it done. Go get it done, man. Go get it done.
Well, let me tell you something, man. Look, everybody that looks super dejected, they know. They know what they saw. We all saw it, man.
We saw it, man.
We all saw it. We knew it.
It was there.
Nobody wanted to say it because we didn't want to jinx it. But we all saw what was possible. We all looked at that team and was like, this is a Super Bowl quality team. Cincinnati out the way. You just beat Baltimore. You won game out of the 1 seed. Like, 8 winnable games left on the schedule. Hey, if this doesn't turn into an incredible what if, this is going to be one of the magical seasons of all time. But right now it feels like a what if. Like, damn, man. Like, even if they get to 11 wins, it's like, yo, we all saw what could it, like, you know, I don't mean to pile on to Baker Mayfield here. But what that locker room felt after beating Baltimore is something that they never felt with Baker Mayfield. Because with Baker, it was always how far can you go with him. That game, it was like, I could see us doing this in the AFC Championship game. I could see us going all the way with this. And now we got to restart, see what DTR has. Hey, he might surprise us. Maybe we get a miracle with DTR. That's what I need. Shout out to my guy Vegan, man. We shout out all our Twitter favorites. Shout out to my guy Vegan. I need you to post that video again, man. The we got miracles.
You talking about Mike? You talking about Mike?
Yes.
Oh, we shouting out Mike. we shout out our favorite Twitter followers. We might as well shout out everybody, man. Shout out Bree. Shout out Sean. Shout out LaShawn, even though he be trolling. Shout out Zay.
Is that the Super Bowl dude? Like his name on Twitter is like his name, not his app, but his name's like Super Bowl, and there's a toilet.
No, Sean's was
Sean's the
don't matter. Running backs don't matter, dude.
Okay. Yeah. He
Shout
the
out
dude
Sean.
that broke his phone on Twitter, right? Like,
I don't know if he broke his phone.
Somebody. I don't know. Dude. No, Sean, that's not Sean. That's somebody else.
Yeah. But shout out Dev. Shout out Zay. I said shout out Ian. Trying to make sure I get to everybody. Shout out Rufus. Shout out Rufus for sure.
Yeah, I like Rufus. Yeah.
I love Rufus. Shout out Rufus for sure. Shout out Weston Lee. Shout out my big bro Rail. Who else?
Hey man, I need to know Rail's story. I need to know Rail's.
What you mean?
Rail's Deshaun Watson story.
Yeah, Rail. If Rail, you go watch this video eventually. Tell us where you were when you found the news. Oh, and shout out. Dang, who was I about to shout out? I hope I forget nobody. Shout out Weston Lee.
Shout out. Nah, I ain't gonna do that to you.
Shout out who? Shout out who? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after. Oh, shout out Jake Vecchio. Shout out Jake Vecchio, man. Shout out my dog.
Hey man, shout out Jake Trotter.
Shout out, hey, if there's anybody.
Hey, Jake Trotter woke up today and was like, ain't God good?
Ain't God good?
Drake Trotter immediately called Brett Coleman after this news broke. Hey, that group text was going crazy.
Jake Trotter is the happiest man in Cleveland, I promise you.
Jake Trotter asks all those questions at the press conference, knowing DeShaun ain't gonna answer him.
I was just about to say, he's like, that's what he get for not answering my question. I bet you'll answer my questions now.
Hey man, shout out to him, man. I bet that group text. There are some group texts that I know are going crazy right now.
Hey, we might as well shout out Brown's Twitter, man, because we all going through it, man. Shout out Jake Burrs. Shout out Andrew Spade.
My guy Corey.
Shout out Corey. Big shout out Corey. Shout out the guy. Who else we forgot? I said Bree. Man, we forgetting anybody. I'm about to look and make sure I ain't forgetting nobody.
I'm pretty sure we got everybody.
Because I don't want people to be like, man, why you ain't shout me out?
We gave Damo a pretty thorough shout out early in the show.
Hey, Damo got mad at us because we didn't shout him out. He's like, where y'all go bring me on the
I was like, we need to bring Damo.
Super Bowl with the toilet. That's the 1-9. That's Sean brother. Shout out him too. Hey, shout out Skizzlers, man. Shout out
Skizzlers.
Shout out.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't even know how.
Shout out Daniel. We just shout out everybody, man. We shout out everybody at this point.
Shout out Kimberly A. Martin.
Shout out Cameron Justice.
Hey man, big shout out to the homie. She was on the channel earlier today. Hey, Chops. Shout out to you, bro. I know it's a rough time right now.
Hey, shout out Chops. Shout out Chops for real, cause man,
people been on your ass all year, dog.
I know people been on his ass, hey, bro. Man. Shout out Chops, man.
Right.
Oh man.
Power through, brother. Power through.
Hey, shout out to
Yeah. Shout out to Benjamin Albright. I know he was happy. Like,
Oh, shout out Mac Robinson. Shout out Mac Robinson at 92.3.
is that the Buffalo Mac? Is that? Oh no, that's the producer, right?
Mac Robinson? Yeah, he the producer.
Yeah.
Shout out Chuck. Shout out my guy Chuck, because I know we was in the space earlier going crazy. Oh man.
Shout out my guy Ray Rags. He a regular in my chat. Shout out Ray Rags. I'm trying to make sure because I'm bad with names. I be forgetting names all the time, man.
Oh, me, I be forgetting names all the time, bro.
Look. Names all the time. At this point, we're gonna hear from everybody. We're gonna hear from everybody that felt like they should have got a shout out. But shout out to everybody that is in the realm of shout out. What about not Klay Thompson? Is he in the shout out pool? Like,
yeah, that's Jake Vecchio.
That's him. Yeah. Okay,
yeah, I shouted out the government name. My fault, but yeah,
you put him out there.
Billy Moss. Shout out Billy Moss too. Shout out Billy.
Yeah, Billy Moss be out there. He be tweeting some good stuff. But yeah, shout out to all y'all, man. I know we all going through it. Some of us not. Like,
hey, some of us happy. Some people happy. Let's be real. Some people happy.
Yeah, some people are vindicated right now. Even though it's nothing to be vindicated about. The man just got hurt. But it's rough. We'll see what the season is. 1 week at a time. And I'm telling you right now, if the Browns win the Super Bowl like this, Nick Foles style, most Browns thing ever. I still believe. You know what, Miles? Miles Garrett, right here. I'm putting it down. Pin this all your tweets. Pin this wherever. I'm saying this right here. November 15th, 4:05 p.m., fresh after the Deshaun Watson injury, when we all at our lowest. Miles Garrett winning the MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Super Bowl MVP.
Oof.
Trifecta. Gonna walk off straight into the Hall of Fame after that. Yes, sir. Put the team on your back, Miles. Put the team on your back, Miles. It's God time, Miles. Do what you gotta do. We done went through the 5 stages of grief in this video. We done tried to bargain. Like, we done been through the 5 stages. That's why this video's so damn long. We was in denial. We was angry. Then we bargained. Then we were depressed. And now we are at acceptance. We have brought you along these 5 stages of grief. And you know what I'm going to accept? Miles Garrett, okay? Super Bowl MVP, Defensive Player of the Year. He going to be the first player to do all of that. And we going to build a statue of him. And he going to play in front of that shit for the next 10 years and have the best career of all time. Miles Garrett, the GOAT. We still got the GOAT. We not worried about who get injured around LeBron. We still got Bron. Right? We still got Bron. If Miles Garrett got to go back there and throw a couple passes, that's just what Miles Garrett got to do. All right? But we got that, and don't nobody else got that. So Miles Garrett about to bring it back. I don't want to hear none of this wah. None of this we ain't going to do it. None of this we not going to win. None of this we can't do nothing. I said it time and time and again. This team has found a way to get around adversity. What's another plate of adversity? What's another plate? What's another plate, Cove?
I'm going to just say it. The Pittsburgh Steelers got an ass whooping coming on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Hey, we getting that Nick Chubb anger off on you, and we getting this Deshaun Watson anger off on you. Nick Chubb got his knee toe apart, and we still back in this boy out here fighting for first place. We got no offensive linemen. Everybody on the offense done got hurt at least once, and we still out here throwing missiles, throwing blows. And you know why? 95 not on the injury report. That's why, all right? As long as we got 9-5, we got a chance, because don't get it twisted. He been the franchise player. He the face of the franchise. That's the man. He about to get that. And you know what? Don't put him on the cover of Madden. Nope. No Sports Illustrated covers, no Madden covers after this. Nope. But Myles Garrett is about to have the greatest defensive season in modern NFL history. He's going to prove himself to be the Jim Brown of the modern era, the Jim Brown of the Cleveland Browns, and bring this team on his back. On his back to the promised land. That's what we are. That's what we are. That's what we are. Hey, man, we just beat the Baltimore Ravens with a quarterback with no legs and arm. What's really good?
What we worried about? You need to be worried about us. Shit.
What the Browns going to do against the Steelers defense? What's Kenny Pickett going to do against this defense? That's the question you need to ask. Yeah.
They extra motivated, too.
What y'all about to do against Myles Garrett? Y'all going to throw Dan Moore at him? Okay. Come on, do it. I'm begging you, hold that ball. Hold that ball. Come on. You want to run it? This ain't the week. This ain't the week. This ain't the week. Hey, man, maybe this is just this thing that the Browns need to motivate themselves again. We back at it. We back focused. And guess what, man? Every time people sleep on this team, they find a reason to let you know why you should never be asleep. And I don't know why we acting like we ain't seen this team go through more, play better with bad quarterback play. I don't know why we acting like we ain't never seen that before. And guess what? DTR going to be better than PJ Walker. And if we could beat the 49ers, who are supposed to be the favorite coming out the NFC with PJ Walker, you haven't even seen our final form. You haven't even seen our final form. Wait till Myles start getting hot. He ain't even hot yet, dog. He warming up right now. He ain't even warmed up for real. Like, wait till Myles start getting loose on you boys. Start seeing guys for the second time. You saw what it was with the Ravens. Saw them for the second time, got 1.5 off. He got like 1 last time. So you know what, man? We got Myles. I ain't worried. Super Bowl, Super Browns. Let's do it. We doing it. We doing it. Yeah, we doing
Super Bowl, Stupid Browns.
Yeah. Everybody talking about what the Browns going to do, but what everybody else going to do? Hey, man, can Pat Mahomes throw to nobody who's open when Myles Garrett coming down his chest? We saw what the Ravens were. They the 2 seed. Are you telling me we worried about the Jaguars? The Jaguars? Really? Psst, psst. Come on, man. We talked about all these good quarterbacks, and we out here talking about Trevor Lawrence. Like, come on now. Who else in the playoff run? The Miami Dolphins? Man, we seen what it is every time we get real on them. Every time we get real on them, they fold. Every time we get real on the Browns, we don't. We different. We beating them. I don't care about no speed, Tyreek Hill, all that. He going to disappear like he always do against good teams with the Dolphins, not with the Chiefs. He always came up with big with the Chiefs, but with the Dolphins. Okay, let me clarify that distinction. And then what? Who gonna be in the wild card? The Bengals? We ain't never been worried about the Bengals. You know, we play them on discount all the time. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Who really in our way?
It's really, hey, we really just playing against ourselves for real.
I mean, like, it's just Browns versus the Browns every week, man. Browns versus the Browns every week. And guess what, man? DTR come out here, just be all right. We on track. We on track. We doing it. Hey, all DTR has to do is make sure Myles Garrett gets his money. That's all we got to do. That's all we got to do. Just stay out of Myles Garrett's way, and we going to win these games. That's what it's going to be. And Jerome Ford, low-key put the team on his back. Low-key put the team on his back. We back, man. We back, man. We back. Look, next year, too, it's about to be crazy. We about to have like 4 comeback player of the year candidates. It's about to be nuts.
It's about to be crazy.
Hey, man, this is a movie. This is a movie right now. This cinema. And right now we at that part where everybody lose hope. Oh, man, the villain might be able to get it, even though we've been whipping ass the whole movie. And then what Spider-Man do in moments like this? Put on that mask, have a nice, courageous speech, and start whipping ass. That's what we about to do right now. Yeah, okay, you got me. You got a couple licks off. I ain't gonna lie, that hurt. Like Deshaun Watson going out, that hurt.
That hurt.
But you know what? I had to recover, go through the stages of grief, come back out, and now we ready to give you that whip ass this weekend. The biggest mistake that the Steelers did was letting the Browns find out about this early in the week, because now by the time we get to Sunday, it's going to be ready for that whip ass. So, Mike Tomlin, Don't let your foot off the gas. If you a Steeler, hey, don't think you about to just have some easy money. You about to be in for some shit right here. Because the Browns, they coming. We coming. And we taking this division, man. All that, man. Everybody else in this division folds. Everybody else in this division folds in prime time, in the clutch moments. We don't. You saw what happened with CJ Stroud with the Houston Texans? Could never be us. Not this year. Nah. We winning it all. Super Bowl, Super Browns. We gonna win it with the third string quarterback. Yes. That'll be the most Browns way to do it. We got to pay honor to our look. Just like the most Cleveland way to win a championship was to go down 3-1 versus a 73-win team.
Talk about it.
Did you think that this would come easy? Like, did you think that this would come? No. If the Browns are going to win a championship, they got to overcome things that they have never overcome before, such as quarterback. And you know what? Throw that jersey out. The only three numbers that matter are 17, 4, and 10, because those are about to be the numbers that we about to immortalize in NFL history as the first team to start 3 quarterbacks for multiple games and win a Super Bowl. Book it. Myles Garrett, Super Bowl MVP. Book it. Myles Garrett, MVP. Book it. Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. He ain't even gonna be thinking about that shit. Oh yeah, I got that too. Man, y'all could have gave it to TJ. I don't need it. I got MVP. Nah, I'm gonna take that. Take that. 3 sweet. Who would have thought the only other player to get MVP in that 2017 draft, other than Pat Mahomes, would be Myles Garrett? But we here. I done seen it. So y'all have a great day. Y'all try to make the best of the rest of the season, because there's a lot of good to be made out of it. Peace.